This is a Harper Guys production.
The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
But good luck arguing that in court. Let me get down to brass tacks.
Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. How much for the ape?
Jack, let's just cut the crap and get down to brass tacks here.
Are you hating on Neil Diamond?
Holy fuck Neil Diamond.
Our dream of deathmatch is going to come to fruition, and my golden ticket is going to pay off. Hoo-ah. Don't you fucking hoo-ah me, motherfucker.
I want the ability to time travel.
This is stupid. Welcome to the Hopper, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake. With me, as always, my sidekick, Adam.
That's right.
I decided to change it up just a little bit tonight. Instead of wailing it out, that was my best Trump dance impersonation. I don't know if you've ever seen the Trump dance.
Oh, yeah.
That's about what he's got.
He don't move too much. You
Right.
want to stress those back muscles.
Right. You ever seen Switch with, is it Switch? With Will Smith in it? Where...
I mean, maybe.
I feel like it's Switch. Maybe that's not the right name. Somebody is screaming right now at the radio, they're listening to the device like you're an idiot. But where he coaches Kevin James on how to date the girl, and he's teaching him how to dance, and he's like left to right, like right here. That's it. Nothing else. Don't get crazy. So,
Yeah.
So that was my bringing in strange tonight. So let's get through the PSA and get rolling. We got a big show for you tonight. Some serious, some funny, some stupid. It's all in tonight. We might cry at some point.
Episode 88. Double eights. Double eights. Double eights. I love eights. Do you like eights? Eights was always my number.
88 is also Torrey Holt's number, and he's a finalist for the Hall of Fame. So
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Visit us at theharperguys.com. Once there, you can find our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube channel links. You can also find us everywhere podcasts are found. By the way, go to our YouTube channel right now and motherfucking subscribe. Thank you very much.
That's right.
That's it.
Perfect. We're easy on the eyes, so don't be afraid to hop on the YouTube and give us a look-see while you listen in.
That's right. I don't believe I uploaded the last episode, so after this episode, I will be uploading those.
All right. So you want to come in hot or you want to come in funny? What are you coming in with?
We're coming in with holiday pet peeves.
Okay. I like it. We're just wrapping up the holidays here, getting into the beginning of the new year.
Matter of fact, today is the 5th or the 6th?
I believe that today is the 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, Wednesday the 6th.
Wednesday, the 6th of January.
Yes. Cruising along already.
Just a few days past New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Where half of the country is nursing, dehydration from drinking. The other half are getting up early and cooking some sauerkraut balls.
Yeah. Well, they were a week
Or
ago.
doing both.
Probably,
matter of fact.
probably both in my household, to be honest.
Yes. So, start us off. What you got?
Okay, so we're talking about things that are pet peeves that we have about the holiday season in general, or specific things that people do.
It could be the fucking 4th of July. I hate fucking people throwing smoke bombs in my backyard, but no, this was more general.
Oh, on any holiday.
This was more generalized about the holidays from Thanksgiving through the New Year.
Oh, right. Well, that's what I was focusing on.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not talking about our St. Patrick's Day pet peeves.
No.
That's a whole show.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stupidity in that. The first one that I have, and it's a pet peeve, but it's also funny because of the way that my wife does things, is the early decorators. Drive me nuts. Now, my wife's birthday is in early November, so the first weekend of November every year is our decorating day. I take a deep breath because we've actually made it through Halloween, but at the same time, I hate it. Like
Now, does she like to decorate as early as possible?
oh yeah, like she loves.
Like, is she already decorated for Valentine's Day?
Yes, there's Valentine's pillows upstairs.
Whoa!
Oh, everything from Christmas is put away, done. We did all of that on the 1st. Now we're getting ready for Valentine's Day, and the wings is going to
2
be
months
Easter.
early.
Oh yeah, as soon as Easter, we got Easter and St. Patrick's Day that we kind of co-decorate for together because it's kind of hard to decorate your entire house in one of those two. I mean, you can, but for us,
So is it the earliness? Is it because she doesn't want to be outdone, or she has to be first?
she has to be. No, it doesn't have to do with either. It's that she loves it so much that she wants it up to where I'm okay with that. The people that do it out of laziness, like, well, it's a 65-degree day in early November. I think I'm going to do the Christmas lights now instead of having to bundle up and be a man and actually do it the right way. Like
Yes.
that's what I don't like about it. If it's about the joy of the seasons, because my wife will tell you, to her, the holiday seasons start really with Halloween.
Yes.
And then it goes all the way through the first of the year. It's kind of like 2 straight months,
Right.
you know, from the 31st to the 1st. It's 2 months and 2 days. To where she don't feel that way about it. I don't either, but it's the laziness
Yeah.
of it. You know?
Now, I will agree with you on the Christmas lights things. It used to be, in my household, before my wife started wearing the pants,
Yeah.
it used to be that I wasn't putting up a motherfucking thing. I wasn't doing anything till the day after Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving's over.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a blizzard. I don't care if there's a foot of snow. I'm going out.
Yeah.
And if it takes me all fucking day, it takes me all fucking day.
Sure.
But there is a point of reason and maturity that you have to reach at some point. And when I like to put the lights everywhere, including the roof.
Okay.
So on those nice days, I will now go out and do the roof and then nothing else.
But don't plug it in yet.
No, I don't.
Well,
Never.
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I think that the day after Thanksgiving should be National Men's Decorating Holiday.
Yes.
I think that's that particular day. There should be NFL games that are on at 7 and 10, so you get night games after a long day of man decorating,
Oh.
while all the women are out shopping all day. 'Cause
Yes.
it's Black Friday.
Black Friday.
We need to get this day down pat.
Yeah, so I will climb up there on a nice November day,
Yeah.
do the roof. I'd never turn them on. Nothing goes on. Even if I did get them all up early because I just felt like it,
Yeah.
I would never turn them on before the day after Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
Black Friday.
It doesn't work like that here. So you can come past and see one of our 6 Christmas trees lit up and screaming at you, depending on how you
How
go
early?
past the house.
How early do you think?
What do you mean? Whatever the first weekend in November is. If the first weekend is November 1st, it's November 1st. If the first weekend is November 5th and 6th, it's November 5th and 6th. Whatever that first weekend is in November, every year.
Nice. Now, how do you store all the decorations? Do we have it in the basement here?
Oh, yeah,
or do
yeah,
we have
oh,
an
yeah.
attic
Oh, yeah.
spot?
So for each holiday, we have, like, obviously Christmas is the largest.
Yes.
We have a group of bins, all specifically labeled with what they are. There are certain things
Like
that go in
tubs?
certain bins. Oh, yeah.
Totes?
Yeah, but to where that's where I come in, to where my job is to get it all upstairs, and then whatever she finished with, whatever season's being done,
Bring it back
I
down.
bring it back down, and
Yes.
it's just a rotating cycle to where
See, within the last 8 years or so, I popped a hole in the attic, the unaccessible attic for the most part. It has a little manhole in one of our closets.
Yeah.
But I opened it up and then I put some flooring, up there. So yes, that's my job as well.
you said manhole.
manhole, totes up in the attic, totes down, totes every fucking where.
Toady tote toter.
Yes.
Yes. So that was my first one. Decorating too early.
Decorating too early. All right, I'm going to tell you what. This drives me batty. And it's only because I've gotten older,
Okay.
but the amount of gifts that we buy for each other. And I'm not talking about Jake and I. Jake and I don't gift exchange, but I feel like and it's different. I'm not talking about mom and dad buying for the kids.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, okay, that's over. Now we're going to go over the on a normal non-COVID Christmas.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go over to, Frank and Betty's house and and then, they got us 8 different things and we
Right.
got them 3 and now.
Sure.
I just think that, I think it'd be so much more genuine if, hey, you and I are going to exchange.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get you 3 things. I'm going to buy you a gift.
Sure.
One gift.
That's fine.
I think that I'm at the point where it's not truly maybe a pet peeve, but it's something that's starting to bother me more, which I guess it is a pet peeve then.
Yeah.
The overdoing it.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I even think that the number of people sometimes are out of control. To where like with my friends, I mean, like you said, we don't exchange gifts. You know, I literally don't have a friend left that I exchange gifts because I've pretty much had the conversation with everybody. Like, if we're gonna exchange gifts, let's just discuss it ahead of time.
Yes.
So we don't have that awkward moment of I didn't get you something, but now I feel like I have to, and then you get it ex post facto, and it doesn't feel like a real present.
Right.
Where I don't want to do that.
No.
To where we don't do that anymore. I haven't been in that situation in years and years.
Well, you did it last year, and it may have been drunk gifting, but last year
That wasn't drunk gifting.
Jake bought me a bad motherfucker. gave it to me about this time last year. Said it showed up at the door or showed up, and you weren't sure. You're like, oh, I must have done some drunk Christmas shopping. Now he doesn't remember this, but this is what happened. Now I wear this, or I wear it. I take this out usually when I'm hanging out with him.
Right.
We go hunting or whatever, where I don't want more than my ID and maybe a credit card or some cash.
Yeah.
I take this. I don't take the full Monty where I'm going to lose it in the woods or whatever.
Sure.
So this was a gift last year.
Yeah.
Now that's a perfect kind of gift though. It's kind of a gag / I mean, you can use it if you want. I don't know how well it would hold up. It's not made of bad material, but regardless.
Okay, but to shed a little bit of background on this.
Yes.
So this is different than Christmas gift giving to me. To me, at some point in your life, you do need to have people that you're close enough to, like I feel we are as friends.
Yeah.
That if you see something and you're like, man, for $8.99, this guy's gonna have something he's gonna laugh about. Hey, you went home and told your family.
Oh, yes.
Any person that sees you with it,
Yes.
that knows what it is, thinks it's the coolest thing ever because
Yeah.
it's an exact replica of the wallet that Samuel L. Jackson's character Jules Winfield has in
Winfield.
Pulp Fiction.
Yes.
Right. So, and we love that movie. We quote it all the time. To where it was one of those things. I didn't wrap it. You didn't have a bow. You didn't have paper. It was nothing like that.
Oh, boy.
It was like, dude. I found this and I had to get it for you.
We have a first on the Harper. Now this is wrapped.
This is bullshit. And
No. This is a two-parter, by the way. Now, you're gonna love this. Now don't say I know where you're going with the gasping and the heavy breathing. All right, so this is part for you, part for the show.
Okay.
So don't get over verklempt, but I did wrap it because I didn't want to just hand it over the way it was.
I mean, how do you feel that you literally just hit one of my pet peeves? I mean, I literally, this is the pet peeve I just told you.
I know.
And I was in a hurry getting things done before the show tonight to where I didn't even see you bring this in.
I know.
Or I would have questioned it.
I olayed it with my Browns jersey.
See, now that's what I love about it is when you say that it's a dual purpose, it
Yes,
really is.
It really, truly is.
So
I want to make some room here.
Yeah. So for those of you at home that are still listening to the show, there's an 80% chance that you viewed the world through most of the same eyes that we do. We have a little bobblehead of the actual president there right now. And this is this says, "Hey media," and it is 45 giving the middle finger to the media.
Pull them out of there. Now, that media part, there's 4 of them in there. It's two-sided, and there's another one.
Really?
So you can do, hey, media, hey, liberals. Yeah, that's the other one.
Oh, and they're each two-sided.
Yeah.
Man.
Look at the bobblehead is the finger.
What do you get, the man that has everything?
Look, you're fired. Impeach this. So you can choose whatever one.
So we got hey media, hey liberals. I think we're gonna start with impeach this, just because there was another reference to impeachment earlier this week. So
yeah, put him up there.
Good times. Hey, thank you very much. That's a good thing now. So look forward to your gift card coming in the future.
Oh, shut the hell up.
I was going to get you one, but then I forgot and I ran out of time.
Shut the
So
fuck up.
sorry, I didn't have time to get your present.
Jake and I don't exchange gifts, but the honest truth behind this is I was looking up gifts for my stepdad, who is a huge Trump supporter and fan. And as I'm looking, I see this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
the middle finger. I mean, come on, everybody.
Were you drinking when you looked it up?
I didn't.
No?
No.
So it was almost the same shopping experience, but not quite?
No, I could not let that pass.
That's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Wow.
And it's a nice addition to the show.
Yeah, how does it look up there? Oh, yeah, big time finger.
Oh, yeah. He's showing right at you.
Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Good stuff.
So, on to the pet peeves. Let's
Pet
see.
peeves.
Give Jake his gift. Check. Yeah. I mean,
I got one.
go ahead.
All right. I think that going out with my wife and kids and looking at Christmas decorations is fun. We enjoy it. My wife looks up different places to go locally. I mean, we'll go within reasonable, if there's like neighborhoods that are known for it, different places like that. We don't ever go to Ogilvy Park. Sorry, I love the people at Ogilvy. You sit in line for 3 hours for a 10-minute ride through some crappy lights that you can see better lights than that here in the town that I live in.
Yeah.
So don't ever drive to West Virginia for that. But we love going around looking at lights. And
Yes. No, that's fun.
But the thing that I notice, the big displays are fun. You try to figure out what all the different things are. You take your time. Sometimes you stop in front and look and stuff. Enjoy it for a few minutes. What drives me nuts is while we're doing that, and I'm in different places, and I see it all the time. So it's not like one person here does it. When that idiot has like the one string of lights around one tree or one post in their house, or when they've really gone all out and they've got one string of lights like on a bush in the front yard. If that's all the effort you're going to put in, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting my time looking at your house as a Christmas light when I am just seeing your half-assery the entire time.
No, it's
I hate it so much.
It's so bad when it's one of those tiny little porches that has like a little metal railing, and they go from wherever the outlet is up the thing and then to the roof, and that's it.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, that one drives me nuts. One string of lights. If you're gonna put some lights up, I think you got a minimum requirement of like 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy in the neighborhood that does too much.
Yeah.
Or something like you just mentioned, a strand.
Yeah.
I like to do, I do enough that it's noticeable, and a lot of people usually say, "Oh, it looks so good," but I don't go overboard.
Yeah.
What do you think about? I guess I'm going to add this to my list.
Okay.
And you may be one of these people. My stepfather is. I don't have anything against it.
Just say it.
The guy that puts the just that new lamp thing in the yard and shines the twinkles on the house, and
I have 2 of them.
okay,
And we love them.
yeah. Well, it's better than. I guess it's one thing if I guess I live in a neighborhood of ranch homes.
Yeah.
Where it's not that hard to get up on the gutter.
Right.
But
I've got.
if I had a 2-story and I want to decorate, I probably would be the.
If you ever want to climb up on the very top of my roof and put some lights up there, I'm more than willing to help you.
Yeah.
From the ground.
I just think it's kind of cheaping out a little bit.
Well, it is because I have a massive fear of uncontrolled heights, and falling off my own roof and dying isn't on my shit to-do list.
Yeah.
So if I can adequately decorate the small tree in the front, the bushes, we got some nice lights, to where it's got the ambiance look, but then you've got the nice the snowflakes on the
Ambiance,
garage.
store for lovers.
No, but it like you just said, we try to make it look classy.
Yes.
Without it looking overdone and cheap, to where we bought a couple of the good ones. One is snowflakes, so we put that on the white garage door, and then one is the red and green
Oh, you mean the things
laser
that move
lights.
around?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I like those.
That's what we do.
I'm talking about the ones that are literally, it's the newer ones. They've had them out for about 5 years that just make twinkles all over the house.
Yeah, I don't need that in my life.
And it looks like the house is a giant Christmas light.
No, I don't like that.
But it's, the ones that do like a little show, no, I like that.
Yeah.
We've had those prior.
Yeah. What else you got?
I had one. Oh, for sure, re-gifting. I love my dad to death,
Yeah.
but
Is he a regifter?
he didn't do it all the time, but a couple times he did. Whether it was a birthday or Christmas, I'm like
Got you the same thing more than once, or gave you something back that was a gift to him?
yes, the last
Okay,
one.
so full on regifting.
I bought him an 18-pack of golf balls, and it's Christmas Eve, and he's like, "Oh fuck, those looks. Oh, I never." And I'm gonna give them this back, and wraps it up, and I'm like,
because he forgot that he had given it to you.
"No, he forgot that I gifted it to him."
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
He forgot that he got it from you.
Yes.
Oh, I mean,
and it's okay.
On the older age people, you got to let that go.
Yeah, but he wasn't not doing this now.
Okay.
In his 80s, he was doing this in his 60s.
Well, that's pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, no good.
Yeah, that's no good.
Love him to death, but yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta think a little bit.
Yeah. I got a couple more. Do you have more?
This is brand new to me, but having to worry about if your fucking gift is going to show up on time.
Yeah.
Now, we've all been there. Most of us do it responsibly where we will order in time, and there might be a little bit in the back of your mind, man, I hope that shows up on time. I know it's going to get slow.
Sure.
I guess the pet peeve is all these places know it's going to get busy and bad.
Yeah.
Why don't you overstaff?
Yep. I don't disagree with that. I think you're right on point there. It should be that easy.
It's
know?
Christmas fucking time.
Right.
Bring in the reserves. FedEx, UPS does it. Come on, Postal Service.
I think I told you, maybe I didn't, that I have one that's still not here.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah. I've never bought one before, but I went in and I bought the ugly Christmas sweater this year.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were supposed to have a family shindig, and the one family shindig that we always have, it ends up BYOB. I mean, we have a good time. It doesn't get out of control, but it's always fun. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy one this year. So I did. I ordered it at the end of November, and here on January 6th, it still has not yet arrived. So,
and it must have came USPS.
yes, it did. No, it came DHL.
Oh, DHL. That's right. You did say that.
Right. So who knows what shape it's going to be when it gets here. I'm glad it's a sweater, so unless there's holes in it, at least it shouldn't be destroyed, but we'll see how it goes when it gets here.
Yeah, and I'm going to give a pinch of advice. It may not be actual. It could literally be just ironicism, but I ordered a knife for my stepdad, and I ordered it on December 7th. And it was supposed to be here on the 16th. Then it got bumped up to the 14th. I'm like, hell yeah. The 14th was a Monday. I'm like, fuck yeah, it'll be here. Plenty of time. The 14th was the last update I had on the tracking. And it was just dead silence all the way through Christmas. I kept watching it. I'm like, well, by Christmas Eve, I'm like, if it doesn't show up today, and I haven't heard anything, so I know it's not going to show up today.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst things, too, because he's a good old boy, and, he likes firearms and knives and things. I was like, man, it'd have been a really good gift to give him on the day, but oh well. It did show up, but it showed up a day after I had actually put a ticket in just to see if maybe it had been lost.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, and then a guy called me, assured me that it wasn't going. I mean, like an hour after I put the ticket in, the guy from our local post office called me, and then he said it's fine. And the very next day it shows up, and I'm like,
Yeah.
So my tip is, if it wasn't just coincidence, if you're missing a package or it hasn't arrived, call a day before you might need it.
And see if it shows
And
up.
see if it shows up.
Yeah.
Because it seems like I rattled the tree and the fucking thing fell right out.
I'm just surprised that on a year like this with COVID, where everything's become deliverable now, that they weren't better prepared for the avalanche of deliveries at Christmas.
I mean, there were stories of just semi-truck after semi-truck just backed up, and then I heard they shut down the fucking post office because it was just too flooded.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep up with it, so they're like, fuck it, we're going home.
Right. This is a federal agency that we all pay for.
How can the post office say fuck it? Whatever happened to through wind, sleet, and snow?
Right. Motherfuckers used to ride horses and get shot at delivering mail. I mean, we have the ability to deliver mail to our military across the seas during a war.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about some of the things that we've gotten mail delivered through. Come on now. A holiday and a pandemic, it doesn't even scratch the surface of the worst things we've ever tried to deliver through.
I mean, let's put some fucking common sense in this motherfucker right now.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of people that need jobs right now. And I know
We hope.
Well, I'm saying there's a lot of people that are looking for work right now. You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know. You talk to a lot of people. There's a lot of businesses that are dying for employees. I mean, there's a wide open job market.
Well, I think some people are afraid to go work.
There's
right
a lot
now.
of people that lost their job during all this.
That's what I mean.
And they might not want to go back to zero, back to entry level someplace. So they're not picking up work right now. But
Right.
there are places that need employees badly.
But what I'm saying is, the post office puts a little fucking flyer out or a little fucking sign out their fucking front window that says, "Hey, hiring holiday help."
Can't do that.
Why?
It's the post office. You have to go through the civil service exam and all that stuff. Like you can't just walk down to your local post office
And the
get
Browns
hired.
can't make it into the playoffs, but they still did. Listen,
Look, I'm just telling you that that's a fact. Like, that's not me having an opinion on it.
You
the fact
could
of the matter
still-
is, you have to go through this test. It's only
that's
offered
if
certain
you want
places,
a
certain times a year.
permanent job.
That's if you want a job, period.
I'm sure there's a temporary
You can't
service.
walk into a school and be like, I just want a part-time job as a study hall monitor. Is that cool? They're going to be like, no. You have background checks and shit you have to go through. We have to make sure you're qualified to do all this.
Whatever, do
Like,
it all.
I'm just saying, like, you can't just, there are certain jobs in this world that you can't just give temporary people jobs to.
I think you could.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
And the mail is one of them, man.
You know what? There is time for change, and if it means you allowing temporary help for the postal service, fucking do it.
You still got to vet the people.
It's not a Bible. Right here. Put your left hand on it and swear to God.
No, I'm pretty sure it's written law of this country that in order to work for the post office, you have to go through a particular process.
Well, I break the law every day. I speed.
Well,
Sorry about it.
The guy hiring you has worked to get to where he's at, and he went through that program, so he's getting.
Right, but he's a full-time employee. It's different.
You're not going to be like, well,
If
it's
you're-
wartime and we're losing, so
Listen,
you sit,
if you
just
wanna-
get on the boat. Fuck it. You don't have to be trained. You don't have to take the ASVAB. Get on the boat. We'll give you a gun. Good luck.
A lot. There's been some time. What, you ever heard of militia? It happened all the time.
No.
Mental
No, that's not what
militia!
happened. Anyway, I disagree with you. It's okay.
That's fine.
I
That's
agree to disagree.
That's great. That's great. I'm just saying, you can bend the rules during COVID. Everybody does.
Have you ever thrown a holiday get-together?
It's been a while, but yes.
So whether it's the friends
New
group
Year's
getting
Eve,
together,
yes.
or New Year's Eve is a big one, or the Christmas get-together with the family, one of the things that drives me nuts is when people bail on those parties once they've committed. It drives me absolutely fucking crazy.
Especially if you're the host.
Right. You've got it counted. You only wanted 16 people at your party. You've got 16. Next thing you know, you're down to 10 because 3 couples were like, well, it's been a long couple of weeks of shopping and stupidity out there. So, I'm good. I'm gonna stay home tonight. Sorry. Pam's not feeling good, so we're gonna call it in for the night. That shit drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I hate bailing.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you I've never bailed on anything, but like I try to never bail on like the hard things.
No,
you know?
that's for sure. Did you hear that?
No?
Pretty sure I just heard Trump say, "Fuck you, LeBron."
Oh.
Okay. Anyways, back to the pet peeves.
Pet peeves.
Like the look on somebody's face when they get a gift that maybe they don't like.
Yeah.
Or they have something already similar, or maybe they have the same goddamn thing already.
Yeah.
And maybe you know it, but nobody else does, and you're just waiting for the response.
Yeah.
And it's a shitty one. Sometimes as an adult, you got to tuck that shit in and just put the fake smile on
Yep.
and say thank you
And be happy with it.
and be happy with it.
Yeah.
That bugs me. I'm going to tell you what, my daughter, from her grandmother, got the same gift. I don't know if it was back-to-back years, but, they were up in their 70s and got her this amazing little globe, like a snow globe.
Yeah.
For a granddaughter, beautiful, and it was so. But then when my daughter, now she opened this when she was like 11, the second one,
Yeah.
like a champ.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look, there you go. And she went over to mom. I think I already have this. Well, that's fine. Don't say anything.
Right. Now you have 2. They're bookends.
If you break one, you're good.
Right. To
So-
get out of jail free card.
So even at a young age, she knew how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't.
But you run into that where you're like, dude, what are you doing? Shut the fuck up.
Right. Oh, I agree completely. Like there's certain things like that. Anytime that you get a gift, unless you open it and you know that it was given to you maliciously, like as a dick move,
Yeah.
Like if you shit your pants on some epic story and then somebody gets you a pair of underwear that are all brown stained or something, like these look like you. Be like, all right, you're a fucking dick. Like
Yeah.
that's the only time you can be like that.
Like
with
if you're the gassy friend,
Yeah.
and somebody gets you charcoal underwear,
Yeah.
that might not be. Well, it might be funny.
Right. Well, it all depends on the circumstance, and I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It depends on who it comes from. But if it's somebody that you're close enough to that they bought you a present with the thought in mind of wanting to get you something that you would like, whether you do or not, yeah, don't be that dickhead that's like, oh, cool, thanks.
Got 3 of these.
Right. It's gonna go great on the shelf to collect more dust.
Don't be that dude.
I got one more.
All right, go ahead.
Last one. The people that fuck up my shopping. Now, in the month of December, the worst things on earth are blizzards and not being able to go to your normal local place to go grocery shopping without complete fucking pandemonium. Here's the question I want to know. I love a good shredded potato as much as anybody else. Why all of a sudden is it as rare as toilet paper in fucking April come Christmas time? I just want a bag of hash browns. Why? Because hash browns go with breakfast. Why all of a sudden does every hash brown on the planet become worth gold? This shit drives me nuts. Yeah, I mean, to the point where literally we have arranged our schedules. We're this old that now on Friday nights at like 8 o'clock is when we go shopping, because it's the only chance we have to not murder people inside of a store. I fucking hate it.
It's crazy.
It gets insane to where it's not fun.
And you know, the guy going down the middle of the aisle, or the guy that leaves his cart, or the gal that leaves her cart on the right and is in the left, just make up your fucking mind. I don't care if you're on the wrong side of the aisle. Just make room for somebody else.
Right. You can't go anywhere but straight. Straight's the only way you can go through any of the fucking aisles, because if you go anywhere else, you try to turn around, there's people that are behind you like, what are you doing? You can't turn around? File. Go. I hate it. It's the worst shit ever.
Yeah. Last pet peeve, and this has nothing to do with holidays, but I'm sick and fucking tired, unless I just don't know what it means.
Yeah.
But we are from the great state of Ohio.
Ohio!
And I'm fucking sick and tired of seeing these stuck in Ohio fucking stickers on the back of people's fucking cars.
What do you mean?
Have you not seen these stuck in Ohio's? I've seen them for like the last decade.
Stuck in Ohio? Son,
Stuck in Ohio.
Son, I'll tell you what, if you live in Ohio, you ain't stuck in Ohio. It's not like we have some economy like a California to where you make a way different cost of living than everybody else does, to where you try to move to a Midwestern state, and then your pay goes way down and things get off kilter. If you are in Ohio and you don't want to be here, there's about 30 different roads that'll get you out of this motherfucker, and they're major highways.
And if you don't like the safety and the comfort of a wonderful state like ours, where you can get every fucking season in one day, you also don't have to worry about serious earthquakes.
We got the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We have the #1 amusement park in the world. We have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you take just those three things inside of a state, we're badass.
Plus, we are loaded with alcohol and now medical marijuana shops. So come on over.
Right.
But I don't know why people say stuck in Ohio. It's you go to Indiana.
Right.
Go to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you're not stuck.
You're not going to change climates that much. Get the fuck out.
You want to get stuck someplace? Go to Michigan. That's stuck. Just kidding, bro. He's listening. I'm just teasing.
Stuck in motherfucking Ohio.
So I do have one more little side topic. Unless you got something more on this.
No, throw it out.
All right.
By the way, did you hear that? Trump just told LeBron to go practice his free throws.
Just to tie in with the end of the holiday stuff as we move into the new year. Did you do any resolutions this year?
No.
None.
No. I plan on I got a beach trip coming up in July, so I have to put down the beers for a little bit and tighten things up.
Yep. So you're going on a little bit of a diet.
Well, I haven't made a resolution.
Right.
I'm just thinking about it.
Yeah. I've been doing some reading, and as you know, we don't worship him, but we get a lot of good knowledge from our buddy Joe Rogan. And I say buddy as I'm just another fan. I don't.
We are tight.
I don't really know him, but what he's doing this month is the carnivore diet. So I did a little bit of reading on it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. So it's an entire month.
But you've done this before, right?
Not to this level, to where.
Well, didn't we hear he had a guy on about just eating meats and?
Yeah. Yep. And we've talked about it before. Yeah. And like I've done keto, but I've never gone straight carnivore. So legitimately, all I'm eating this month is meat. And so far, I feel fantastic. I feel incredible.
Now, is it strictly white meat, or are we going
anything? No. It's white meat, red meat, fish, whatever it is that you're into. But like whole muscle meat is what they obviously recommend that you go with.
So you're not having anything else? Like no peas, no carrots?
None.
Just meat?
Just meat for an entire month.
What about beverages? All water?
So I'll drink water. I drink black coffee. And for my treat...
Wait. Black coffee?
Yeah.
Because I've seen you load up
Oh.
your coffees.
Yeah, nope. I choke it down.
I was going to say,
I
it's
don't
no
love
good.
it.
I like 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I can't usually, without. Eesh.
Wow. Yeah. What I do is I'll make the coffee. I'll put 2 ice cubes in it, spin it around, and chug it. Like that's how I handle my coffee for right now. Because I don't love black coffee, but I can get it down.
Probably stronger.
I mean, it kicks in quicker. I'll tell you that when you.
Fucking shooting your cup of coffee.
It's like bonging a beer, you know.
Ding!
But
Ready for work.
But then, like the one extra thing that I am keeping in the diet is my Diet Mountain Dew. There's a little bit of unnatural sweetener in it, which you can have a little bit. You know, I mean, if you read the guidelines on it, to where I keep it to a minimum. You know, can or 2 a day. Nothing.
So what's
nothing
the
too crazy.
I don't want to say ETA, but what's the length? How long you plan on doing this or attempting to do it?
Well, I don't like, and you know this. Like I don't like to do things and then like fall short because it was too lofty. So I'm going 30 days to start.
Yeah.
Just get through the month of January, and then if at the end of January I still feel good and I'm on, things are going well. The other thing that I have strategically placed is the second week of February, I have my annual checkup for everything, because according to
So this is just to get things streamlined for the checkup.
Well, but it'll also tell me, because it says after 30 days, like all of your system will be normalized to where whatever your numbers come out to be, like they say, like 2 weeks in, don't be getting your numbers checked because your body's not going to be fully acclimated and normalized everything to where I want to see where I'm at.
Yeah.
You know, like how's it doing? You know, keeping track of the weight along the way, because it's actually something that goes along with it. You know, you're not eating any carbs. You're eating all whole muscle stuff that your body's actually built to break down. So, and one of the things that I read is that it's actually really good for people like me. I'm glad you're sitting down so that you actually believe this and you don't pass out. But I've eaten a lot of sugar in my life, right?
So have I.
Right. And I've actually had a lot of beer with sugar in it over the years. And eventually that will start to mess your system up. And in a way that...
The beer with sugar or just sugar?
Both. But like in a way that you're not always going to see. But like some of the inflammation and stuff that you get throughout your body, to where this helps your body get your metabolism back to being more regulated. It helps your numbers. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted. But
no, that would be something that I would like to try.
But I didn't do an actual resolution on anything, because they don't ever work. If you've ever had a resolution that you made, you weren't doing before the first of the year, you made it, and then you did it for the entire year, send us an email at theharperguys@gmail.com and tell us about it. Because I would love to feature it on the show and say, hey, you know.
Matter of fact, we will call you, or if you're local, we'll have you on the fucking show. Well, barring the COVID's gone away.
Yeah.
But we can still have a call in.
For sure.
Chit chat with you for a bit. We've done it before. We know
Yeah.
how to do it.
So we can check it out. Go it that way. Well, that was nice and short, because we don't really have any.
Yeah, that's it. We don't give a fuck about resolutions too much.
Next.
A little bit. All right, breaking news. Storming the Capitol building.
Now, Adam usually turns to me for the updates on all things political.
Jake, give us an update on this.
But I don't have one. I have been working all day today. I caught a couple glimpses on my phone of people are breaking into the Capitol. They're calling for the National Guard. And I don't know really anything else about what actually happened.
So I'm sitting there today and I'm working away. I don't know what time it was. I'm going to assume it was about 3 o'clock or 3:30, maybe 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have... At our corporation, we use Microsoft Teams. Very handy little tool, and there's a chat tool. And one of my coworkers, working from home, messages me and says, "Man, crazy stuff going on in Washington." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He says, "People are like storming the Capitol building." And I'm like, "Going to look now." And so I pull it up. Yep, I took a minute. I pulled it up, and it's ABC News. It was live, and it had all kinds of people all over the place, all over the front of the Capitol building, and then people all, and it looked like you and me and our parents. Red, white, and blue flags everywhere, Trump banners everywhere, and they're up there on the steps of the Capitol building, and they are just flooding. You can't get in, out. But as I'm listening, so I'm watching all this, and then I'm listening to, there's two reporters talking about it. There's one main, and then somebody that, and apparently, I don't know, who the rally heads were, but somebody, I guess they broke in.
Yeah.
And so that's the part. So, but at the same time, the guy that was talking was just basically condemning this whole thing, and I'm like, you got to understand where this is coming from. This is coming from a lot of and I'm not saying that these people should go do this, but from what I could see, it was very peaceful. Obviously, they were talking about shots being fired.
Yep.
That's not peaceful.
There were actual guns drawn on the Senate, on the Congress floor.
Yeah, that's not cool. Obviously, it's to make a point that they're tired of Congress, I'm assuming.
The people that were there protesting clearly believed that their election was stolen.
Yes.
And
Highly.
And that the people inside that building were the ones that were allowing it to happen.
Right.
I mean, I haven't seen a stitch of news coverage, but anybody can deduct that logic.
So I will say, minus the weapons, the guns.
Yeah.
I don't think that was necessary. Now, if you want to peacefully protest, I'm all in favor of that.
Yeah.
If you want to jam up the front porch of the Capitol building and have your signs, I don't believe you should be knocking in the doors and bringing in pistols. But what did I write down about this? The people have had enough. Don't start playing the victim, and that's what one of the reporters. It sounded like, well, can you believe this? Like the audacity. I just wanted to reach into the thing and be like, this is not happening because everything's going well.
Right.
So don't play the victim, and when you try to cheat your way to the presidency, the people will be heard. And I think that's what, like I said, I'm not condoning the weapons, the shootings.
Yeah.
But everything else, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Of course, the media will blow it out of proportion and attempt to make terrorists out of all my people. I'm going to say my people. My people are sick and tired of the injustice that the people of this country constantly endure.
Well, I think there's something to be said for the fact that today Washington turned into Portland, Seattle, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Chicago, New York, you name it, that for the first time, and I feel like this is going to end up being a landmark thing before it's all said and done, that what would be broadly considered Republican supporters had decided that they had had enough. That other groups of people over the last year have gone to extreme lengths over things. I mean, even in Kenosha the other night, when they announced that there weren't going to be any charges filed in the Jacob Blake case, that they started burning shit down again. This is where the problem lies. So now, instead of one group that's doing this, now we have two. And both sides are going to swear that they're going to end up on the right side of history, right? I don't think that we agree with that. Like we both have, you've said it, I'll say it to make sure that we're being perfectly clear. We do not support breaking in to the Capitol during a joint session of Congress because you're upset with the election results, right?
Correct.
We both think that is a step too far, for the way that our government runs. That being said, I also feel like it's an extremely good showing of the lengths that people are finally willing to go to. As a conservative, most conservatives sit back, bite their tongue most of the time, try to speak with their votes, and remain some level of peaceful. I'm not saying that all leftists are wanting to have constant carnage, but there seems to be quite a bit more of it on that side. So what I think may end up happening in this is we're going to see more and more clashes. This whole heal and unify, this narrative is so far out of whack and so far it's not even happening. And the for instance for that and again, I don't know the exact words that were said, but I did see that President-elect Biden already came out and condemned it. Has not condemned the rioting in another single city. The attacks on innocent counter-protesters that are Trump supporters that have been shot, killed, ran over, all of this stuff. They haven't condemned any of that. Came out within an hour today and condemned this. You want to talk about a group that's frustrated and already feels alienated? Anybody that's been on the left for the last year that feels like they're in some special group and that they're protected and they can do whatever the fuck they want to, today should be a warning to you that it's not going to happen anymore. That people are tired of it and it's time to fight back. Because when you pin people in a corner, that's what they're going to do.
And people are only going to put up with so much bullshit.
Right.
Fuck you.
Right.
No bullshit.
And
I mean, it's fucked up, and they're pushing us towards a place that you don't really want to go.
they're pushing us to a civil war.
Yes.
Again, I'm not trying to predict the future, but what I'm saying is this, is if these two sides really go at it, it's going to get completely ugly and it's going to divide this country onto another level that we've never seen before. But I'm telling you straight up, based on pure numbers, and this isn't me advocating for anything. This is me calling a spade a spade. The Republicans are a more well-armed and more well-organized group. I don't care what you think about the Antifa or the BLM or any of that. I'm going to tell you what, this is not the group of people to be coming after. You're talking about a group of people that handle things in almost a military style fashion. Like, it's not going to go great. And what I'm afraid of is that you push and 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 you push somebody. Finally, that person swings back. And then they're the one that everybody throws the flag at.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody
did
gets
you
mad
see
at them.
him? Why did he do that?
Right. I mean, you haven't been under attack for a year, that didn't happen. But now, because you acted out coming back because you're just so fucking sick of it, then they're going to be the bad guys. That's exactly what's going to happen. Pay attention to how your media covers this and what media you follow. Like we brought it before. If you want a straight line look at what happened today, go to AON. AON will give you the unmitigated facts. They're not going to exalt these people for what they did. They're also not going to say that they should burn in hell. They give a straight up account of what's going on. And the problem is that we're not going to get that. Everybody that was there associated with it, the fact that we even will say, hey, that we've had support for our 45th president, we'll be condemned by somebody for it. People will look at us as being the bad guys. And that's where the unfairity happens, I don't believe that every Democrat supports Antifa, right?
No.
I don't believe that.
No. How could they?
So this is where I hope that on a national level, cooler heads will prevail. And at some point in time, we have to realize as a people, we need to get all these fucking creeps out of there. You want to keep a Democrat in Nancy Pelosi's House seat? You vote how you want. But don't make it her. Pick another one. I mean, like Mitch McConnell. I'm sorry. Mitch McConnell's got to go. He's a Republican out of Kentucky.
I mean, Nancy Pelosi held every one of your second stimulus back because she wanted a real president to be able to dole it out. She held it back from you, the people, because she didn't want Trump to be the savior for a second time.
Yeah. Well, Cuomo, the governor of New York, didn't want to start passing out the coronavirus vaccine because he thought that it would give positive attention to Trump for it.
So these are your
those are the ideologies that are fucked.
These are your leaders on your side. If you're a Democrat, and I'm not condemning any Democrats. I have plenty of friends and family that are Democrats. I don't hate them or despise them.
Right.
I'm just trying to explain something that those people in those positions are holding back from you and I things that we need.
Yeah.
Things to survive and flourish a little bit easier in these difficult times.
Right.
And why? Why would you support that?
I honestly don't know, but I think we're going to find out. And the thing that is scary to think about is this. If you go back and you look throughout the history of this country, when we've had major riots, the Watts riots, the things that have happened in places like Birmingham, these large scale riots, even this past summer, they're always in the warm season. Typically, every year that there's ever been something like this, come wintertime, everybody kind of holds up, cooler heads prevail. By the time springtime gets here, there's been a bunch of stuff that's been worked on for it. People are feeling better, and you don't get the same recurrence again the following year.
Yeah.
This year, it's going to go straight through the winter. And when we get to the spring and summer next year, I feel like is when it's all going to pop off.
Very well could.
Hopefully I'm wrong. And so the only other thing I have on here politically is it sounds like both of the Georgia Senate seats that have been hotly contested, it sounds like they're both going to the Democrats. which is going to put a complete 50-50 split in the Senate. And that means that if everybody that's a Democrat votes Democrat, everybody that's a Republican votes Republican, the tying vote on every one of those is going to be
The president.
the vice president.
Oh, the vice president.
Kamala. So, in effect, the Democrats now control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. The only thing that they don't have is the Supreme Court, which, not surprisingly, that there's a Supreme Court justice. He's much older. I forget his name off the top of my head because, again, I didn't grab it and run with it. But now Democrats are calling for him to step down. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was in her 90s and literally stayed on the court until she died. But they're asking for this guy to step down now. That way Biden can put somebody else in and even out the court again. Like, come on.
So I have been almost completely unplugged from the news. So with all the election fraud stuff, is that all over now?
I mean, there's still lawsuits all over the place. And like the thing that was actually going on today at the Capitol, are you aware what was going on at the Capitol
No.
today? Okay, so most of you that follow politics obviously know this is the certification of the election results with the electoral votes was officially happening in Congress today. So what happens is they start alphabetically at the beginning, right? To where Alaska, Alabama, they come up first. The third state is Arizona. Each state, as they come in, so let's say that it says, all right, Alaska goes to the Republicans. The Democrats have the ability to challenge those results on the Senate floor. If it happens, what they do is they split the House of Representatives and the Senate apart, and then they have to go talk about it. And then they come back, and in order to get it thrown out, if both sides say, yeah, there were some shenanigans going on here, they just get thrown out like they don't exist. So what happens at this point is there's no longer trying to get to 270. Once you throw out one state, then you end up going the whole way down through the list. So like the states that are...
So it's whoever has the most then.
Right. So like the states that are going to be contested in this, you can probably pick them out right now. Which states do you think are going to be
Michigan,
contested?
Georgia, Pennsylvania, Nevada,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Like those are the big six.
I knew some of them.
You name them all. But those are the big six that are all going to be contested, to where they've already said that this process usually takes a couple of hours. It's going to take days, if not a couple of weeks, to get this all done. I mean, you're talking right up to the inauguration.
So
and it got suspended today, and they don't know what the next step is.
You're a numbers guy,
Uh-huh.
so you've obviously already stated that Kamala's vice president. So does that mean
Elect.
with your math, you think if they throw all those out, he wins?
If they throw all those out, he wins.
Biden wins.
Every one of no. If they would somehow throw all 6 states out, Trump wins in a landslide.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking. There's a shitload of electoral votes there that are going to be contested.
Yeah, because actually Trump was winning until Biden started winning all those states.
Right.
Yes.
So like Pennsylvania is the big one. They're 20, right? So if they come in and they say, you know what, there were some shenanigans here, that's just 20 gone. And Trump didn't lose any.
Poof.
Right. To where it only takes a couple states to swing back, but we'll see how it all goes. But so now,
So when should? So you said could take a couple weeks.
it could literally take up until like the day before inauguration.
So why would you say that Kamala's vice president then?
I said she's the vice president elect.
Elect, okay.
Because right now that's where she's at. The states have already certified. And once that happens, that's when you actually have your president and vice president elect.
Right.
So we'll see what ends up happening.
So we'll say
It's a mess.
by the sticky numbers, Biden's in. But we have to see what happens with this
Yeah.
checking of the books.
Yeah. And one thing that I'm well past at this point is I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody how they should handle it. If you want to sit at home and not say anything and vote next
Oh, you
time it
mean
comes out.
about your neighbor?
No, I'm just saying about how to handle. Well, your neighbors, your friends, people you don't know. If you feel like you should be out there marching, go out and march. Like whatever.
Just do it peacefully. Don't break shit.
Right. I mean, it's going to come to a point where the question is, how often are people going eye for an eye? You know, how many times are people looking for their retribution? You know, I hope this country doesn't fall all the way into this. And I'm always going to be disappointed that this election has turned out the way it has, with the complete shitstorm and mess of the entire thing. But if we had a president that was incoming that I thought really looked at our country as a whole and really was going to try to drive this thing to unity, I would feel better about it, but it's not, because the drive for unity is the drive for compliance at this point. They just want everybody that voted for Trump, 75 million people, to just go, oh, okay, we were wrong. We're on your side now. And that's never going to happen. So I'm worried about it, but we'll see how it works out.
The problem is, in my opinion, is that the left has spent the last 3.5 years trying to oust and throw mud at the president and bring along society with them, the people that support them.
Yeah.
They bring them along. So they're getting their minions involved instead of just doing it themselves. Instead of them getting their feet wet and their hands dirty, they're bringing the little people in to do it for them, and it's really dividing the country.
Oh yeah, but this concerted effort is, I hate to say it, it's one of the most impressive things that I've ever seen. When you add the fact that you have the media, by and large, with the exception of some independents and halftime Fox News, all of the media outlets exalt the Democrats, hate the Republicans. Big tech, support the left, censor and push down the right. All of the doctrine that's being taught in our colleges now is all anti-Republican, anti-conservatism. It's all pro-left, I mean, these are the type of things when you add them all together. I mean, every problem that happened with every person that's been killed by a police officer, it's never a bad police officer. It's a race issue. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, at some point, that's just not accurate. What kills me is when I watch the same newscast and when something like the Jacob Blake thing happened, you feel terrible that somebody got shot. You hope that they're okay. If he really did go at him with a knife, which multiple people say that he has, okay, give him his day in court. You know what I mean? Let's make sure that he gets healed up, and hopefully he changes and becomes a better person at the end of the day. But instead, there's got to be some kind of victimhood that goes on there. And that's where the problem is. You watch that same newscast. I mean, if you go back and watch it, the channel that I watched it on for the coverage that night, they followed up with a robbery that ended up in a guy killing 2 people. And I'm not playing the race card on the other side of it. I'm stating a fact that it was a black man that killed 2 white people. Why aren't we aborting sports games and that kind of stuff? If we're really all for one and one for all, and we're all supposed to be Americans and all here together, why is it not happening on that side too? I mean, this is where the healing and unity is never going to work because they don't ever want it to be on 2 fronts.
Yeah.
So sorry to go postal there.
No, it's okay. And I'll tell you what, I don't know the context of the picture, but my stepdad thinks a lot like we do, you do, and he was just outraged at this picture. Now, I don't know, once again, but it was some sort of a group, and there were white folks on their knees, chained up together, and it said, on their shirts, it said, I'm so sorry, or I'm sorry for being white. It was just really, really bad. And like I said, I don't really know the background of this picture, but he was saying that this is what they're teaching in some of the schools as far as, don't be proud of who you are. Be sorry for who you are.
Yeah.
And you
fuck
just
that.
you can't do that.
No.
I mean, you can't be all for the minorities and not for your own. I mean, like we've said 1,000 times, what happened 200 years ago is not my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't agree with those ideologies either, but
Right.
But it's not my fault. I'm not doing anything to keep African Americans or Mexicans or anybody suppressed.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any part in that.
Right. And
If I see you and you treat me as I would treat you, then I'm going to treat you as well as you would treat me.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, it's very, very difficult to comprehend.
It is.
The hate on both sides in some cases, but
Right. Well, the problem is that everybody thinks that the other side is all the same. That I'm a Republican. I don't advocate for cops fucking with people. I've been fucked with multiple times by cops. I've had a gun drawn on me by a cop when I was unarmed. I mean, that's just a fact. To where it's like, you're not alone in this. You're not the only people that this happens to. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. At some point in time, we got to get past everybody being a victim and all the lying, cheating, stealing bullshit, and get back to just being a country. Like, and
Right.
I hate to say it, and I know that this is going to sound terrible, but this country almost needs some kind of a fucking catastrophe to happen
Yes.
to bring us all back together and
Well,
remand us that,
it's
the
a-
problems that we're having right now ain't really that big of fucking problems.
The catastrophe is going to be. I don't even know how a civil war would even work right now. I was thinking about this, and I'm like, okay, so at some point the military would be involved. Who's got control of that?
That is kind of a TBD thing. You can call somebody commander in chief. I don't mean the military is going to follow them.
Right. No, I'm just saying it wouldn't be the North versus the South. This would be conservative versus liberal. Is that right or is that wrong?
No, I mean, that's exactly what it'll be.
So it's going to be neighborhoods going at it. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Would it be? I mean, they're not going to go out to a battlefield like in the old days. I mean,
I don't know, man. Like
you meet at, Swamp Hill and we'll meet you on the other side and we're going to kick your ass in the middle. I
Yeah.
mean,
But you already you have members of Congress that are calling for basically using social media and stuff like that to make giant millions of people lists of people that are conservatives. I mean, and to the point where you could think I'm being crazy, but I'm just telling you, watch what happens here. Don't be surprised at some point in time if the left adopts, whether it's an arm patch, a hat, a MAGA hat. What's that? Everybody considers that to be super right. You're right wing all the way. You're definitely a conservative. You're definitely a Republican. You know what I mean? So what's going to stop them from starting to have identifying marks? And then that's what they decide. Hey, if you don't wear this and you're not with us, we're going to come after you. And that's when you're going to find the other group of people that's like, all right, we're not fucking wearing that. So don't sing it, bring it. So,
like I said, but okay. I just don't know where the military falls into this because the original Civil War, both sides built their own militaries and they fought.
yeah. You don't think that groups like BLM and Antifa are going to be dealing with groups like the Proud Boys? I mean, because the Proud Boys are one of,
I never heard of them.
they're probably the largest and most well-known. They're definitely right. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to call them alt-right because they are not a group. They're called racist all the time on TV. They are nationalists, is what they are. They're all about the betterment of this country. That's what they'll tell you that their motto is. But they're not afraid to throw down in the name of it.
Right.
They love to use the I think it was William Henry that said from time to time the tree of liberty needs to be refreshed with the blood of tyrants and what's the word for it?
Scallywags. I don't know.
No, of tyrants and then patriots. Like from time to time, in order for this thing to say what it's supposed to be, these two sides got to clash it out and get it hammered.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's time. Unfortunately, I hope not.
I hope not too. I hope that there's some way that we can avoid this, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's a clear, visible, positive end in sight for any of this. So we'll see how the next year goes.
It really doesn't feel like Tommy and Jimmy want to get along.
Right.
I mean, you can wear T-shirts saying unity. You can wear unity on the back of your football helmet, but do something about it.
Right.
Do something about it.
Yep.
I'd much rather you do something than buy the T-shirt that says it.
Right. But the other problem that's going on that people kind of brush to the side is like because they want to keep it in house is the amount of divisiveness inside the Democratic Party itself. I mean, because you have the new left, the Green New Deal socialists, and the old left that burning bras and stuff like that back in the day, but they don't want socialism to where you got the group that's in control that's already infighting with themselves. So I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Just love one another.
For the love of God.
Try to have a clear mind about things.
All right, so we've hit our hour, but I still want to cover a couple things here real quick.
Me too.
Playoffs.
I got it on
Somebody
here.
pinch me.
Playoffs.
So, real quick, we've got all kinds of playoffs supposed to be happening this weekend. A little bit of question mark about the Browns. I have a feeling they're going to attempt to play, and only because did you see what the head coach come out and said? Stefanski for the Browns. He's the head coach. He's the magnificent new boy wonder here for in Cleveland.
Year 1, 11-5.
Broke Paul Brown's rookie record.
Yep.
I mean, I think this guy's going to be really good for a long time. Hopefully he stays healthy and stays here, whether it's his choice or the higher powers. But regardless, I'm not getting overall too excited because being a Cleveland fan, a true Cleveland fan, it's great. I love it. I was fist pumping after the game, high-fived my family. You know, I was excited and happy. But we drew the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wouldn't have really mattered who we drew at this point because we got a whole bunch of people out with COVID. The head coach is out. We have one of our defensive ends got hurt. So it's a big shit show. They talked about maybe postponing it, giving them a couple days so some of these guys can come back. I don't know if that's going to happen. Regardless, though, it's supposed to be Sunday night, and there's a whole shit ton of playoffs going on. We got Jake's Bears are in there.
This because of COVID doesn't bring a lot of good things. But this coming weekend, if you're a football fan, I probably don't even have to tell you this. It's going to be the greatest wild card weekend ever. Saturday, Sunday, we got 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8 o'clock games.
Each day.
Back to back to back. You're going to wear a hole in your couch from where your butt's been planked the whole time. It's going to be awesome.
Plus, the following day, 3 days in a row, on Monday night, Jake's going to wear his scarlet and gray, and he's going to root for them Buckeyes.
Jake doesn't own any scarlet and gray, but I will be rooting for the Buckeyes.
Well, there might be something else in this bag.
No. I hate to see you waste your money like that. I will say this, and I'm glad that I have you sitting here because sometimes things aren't true unless you have a witness. I have been saying well before the season ever started, the best team in college football is the Ohio State Buckeyes. When they were, an 8-point underdog against Clemson, I laughed. I'm like, is anybody paying attention to the talent that we're talking about here? And then it was a smoke show. I watched Notre Dame and Alabama. Notre Dame moved the ball up and down the field. They didn't finish their drives. They had a couple turnovers. They gave up some big plays. Ohio State will probably give up a couple big plays in this game. Let's not get this confused. But anybody that thinks that Alabama is going to walk in there and win this game by 30 is not paying attention. The consensus #1 overall pick in this coming April's draft, Trevor Lawrence, got put to shame by Justin Fields, who, again, I have been saying since before the season started, is the best player in college football.
He said it, and he had a little quiver in his lip. He didn't want to say it, but he did say it numerous times to me. I am the witness.
Well, when you take a job that Joe Burrow can't have, so he has to transfer to LSU, and then he runs wild, wins the Heisman, the national championship, and is the first overall pick. You beat out that guy, you're something special, and he proves it again and again and again.
So Justin Fields was not eligible for the Heisman. Is that right?
No, he was eligible. What happened was he started, and he talked about this openly. He started off the year on fire. I don't know if anybody remembers this. Like 20 touchdowns and no interceptions or something like that to start the year. And then he had a couple games where he threw multiple interceptions. He had another game where he had pretty low yards. And then by playing 6 games, his stats just did not line up with somebody that would qualify. It is what it is. It's a COVID year.
No,
I have no problem with the kid from Alabama that won it. I was glad to see a wide receiver win it again. He is legit. He's going to be a bad man at the next level. He looks like Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice and Marvin Harrison is who this guy reminds me of. He's not the biggest wide receiver, runs great routes, flashing speed. It's legit. But I'm telling you what, this championship game, better keep your head on a swivel, folks, because it's going to be something to behold.
Yeah, so if the Browns and Steelers do play on Sunday, regardless of the outcome, if I'm drowning my sorrows in my beer or I'm elated, but we'll just say if I'm drowning my sorrows in my beer, at least I know I have Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the Buckeyes will beat Alabama. I just think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping for them to win, obviously.
Yeah. I do have a fun stat for you guys if you're into to weird things in football. Since 2000, there have been 7 teams that have gotten into the playoffs with a record of 8-8 or worse, right? And this year there are 2, the Bears and the Washington football team. Out of the 7 games in the wild card round that those teams have played since 2000, Do you have any idea what their record is? These are the teams that are 8-8 or below 500, but make it into the playoffs. Any idea what their record is out of those 7 games?
8-8.
No. There's been 7 teams that made it in. So in that wild card game.
Oh,
So those 7 games, what do you think their record is? In 7 games. Is the question making sense to you?
no.
Okay, 7 teams that were either 8-8 or under 500, like 7-9, and got into the playoffs.
Okay.
Okay, so once you're in the playoffs with a record that crappy, you have to play one of the wild card games.
Yes.
So in those wild card games, the 7 wild card
Oh.
games
So
that
you're
featured
like-
those 7 teams, what was those teams' records in those 7 games?
4-3.
6-1, and the only loss was a last-second field goal. So there's actually some weird money coming in this week on Washington and Chicago because they're so big underdogs. So I don't think either team's going to win, but it's going to be fun.
I'll tell you what, both teams have good defenses.
Yep.
And those, if they show up, if the defenses show up, who knows?
Now, I want to get this from you real quick. That way we can double check on the way back. I know we're trying to get the show wrapped up here in just a minute. So given the teams that are in the playoffs, who's going to the Super Bowl?
I don't fucking know.
Come on. Just make a prediction. You know who all the badass
I mean,
teams
there's
are.
easy predictions, and then there's predictions. I mean, I'll give you 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dream prediction.
The dream prediction.
Yes. The dream prediction would be the Bears versus the Browns. Let's do it, baby.
I don't even know how I would handle that. If Notre Dame had won against Alabama and we had the Notre Dame Ohio State
That
game,
would've
I don't
been
even-
awesome.
I don't even know how I would have handled that.
I would have loved that.
Yeah, you would have.
No, I mean, seriously.
Yeah,
The gold helmets flying around there. It's cool.
yeah. Okay, so but your realistic outview.
Well, not realistic. I mean, I still want the Browns to win it all. I don't know if they're going to have enough people to play against Pittsburgh, but regardless. Oh, but real quick, I didn't finish. But the head coach came out and said,
Oh, yeah.
For the Browns, it doesn't matter who's on the sideline. I'm like, what? You can't say that.
It does.
It very much does. Why would you say that?
Well, because he's trying to make it like, hey, it's all for one for all, next man up, and that includes me.
He's a bad dude. He's a bad motherfucker.
He's awesome. Dude, I like him. I thought he was the right hire when they hired him. His stock kind of dropped after the playoff game that he had the year before, so whatever. So who are you saying are your 2
It
teams that you
dropped
think are going to be there?
perfectly. All right, so I mean, in my opinion, it's going to be hard to stop Mahomes and company.
Mm-hmm.
And who's on the other side? Name me the teams.
Green Bay,
Oh,
New Orleans, Seattle.
okay, go. Stop
Washington.
right there. Stop. So if I have to guess from the numbers, I'd say we're going to have the Patrick Price versus the Rodgers rate.
So you think State Farm's just going to cash in,
Yeah.
dump $40 million into ads during the Super Bowl, just those 2 guys everywhere all over the place?
Yeah.
I don't think so. This is
And I'm just picking numbers. They both finished really well. They both had great seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, if they play like they should, I'd say those 2 teams.
You think? I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh, I forgot about the Billsies. Yeah.
Buffalo. If you don't follow much football, I'm telling you what, that is a team you don't want anything to do with right now. 13-3, and all 3 of the games that they lost, they easily could have won. I mean, they're filthy. So I think that they have what it takes because they have a pretty stout defense along with the offensive juggernaut to where Kansas City kind of struggles sometimes to where we'll see. I mean, you still got to beat them one way or the other, right? But and then I do think, I hate to admit it, but I do think that Green Bay comes out. There's too many problems with all the other teams in the NFC. They're such an offensive juggernaut right now. So I think we get the Bills and the Packers in the Super Bowl.
So here's my, if it can't be the Browns pick.
Okay.
If it can't be the Browns, I'm rooting for the Bills.
Yeah.
They have had, yes, they did go to 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah.
But they have had one of the worst lucks finishing it all.
Yeah.
As bad as the Browns.
Yeah. I agree.
Back in the 80s when they just couldn't fucking get there.
I wouldn't be mad to see them win it if it's not the Browns,
Yeah.
honestly. But,
So if the Browns go out in the first round, I'm rooting for the Bills. Let's go Bills.
well, Buffalo's my pick, but my second pick, if I had to say, okay, rank them in order, my teams, I not my teams, but who I think will win, I got Buffalo as my champion. I think the other one, though, is Baltimore. That team looked lost for half of the season. They had a bunch of COVID problems. That team is hitting on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. They're the other team that nobody wants to have to play.
I tell you what, and I always think about this because I'm a diehard Browns fan.
Yeah.
But I look at the Ravens team, I'm like, God, that was my team. Let's say that never happened. At this point, I'm glad it happened. At this point. Because as much as he's a crazy fucking ninja as a quarterback,
Yeah.
when he's in front of the microphone, he just sounds like a retard.
Who? Lamar?
I don't know if he should just take some speech classes, but I know he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And I know he knows football, and he's
Sure.
a fucking badass.
Yeah.
But dude,
Yeah.
just waive the right to talk.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be fun. So enjoy it this weekend. And then the last playoff thing that I had to bring up is the fantasy football playoffs ended between the last show. Adam was the number 1 seed. I was the
Kiss
number
of
2
death.
seed. You're right. And Adam lost to the guy that barely got into the playoffs.
No. Let's back it up one step further. So playoffs start. Jake gets the 2nd seed. I get the 1st seed. I had 11-2. My best season ever. Once again, I knew it was going to be the kiss of death. But he's over here. Dude, you got this in the bag. I'm like, I doubt it. But that's just me with fantasy football anyways. I never get too excited.
Yeah.
And then we had our 6 and 5 seeds actually beat the 3 and 4s. So Jake and I are playing the 6 and 5
Right.
in round 2 of the playoffs. And I'm sure both of us thinking, we should win these games.
Right.
And Jake won his, and I didn't really lose as much as my team just didn't show up.
Right.
Still lost. But so Brett, Big Money Man Meat Jackson, beat your brother,
Yep.
Josh, played me, beat me. Josh was number 4.
Yep.
So Brett beat 4, 1, and then Brett beat 2.
Right. He didn't just beat me. I mean, my team played really well. I put up a bunch of points. He put up the highest point total in the league for the season in the championship game. So kudos to our buddy Brett. He won it, but it was funny. I was in 2 championships.
Kicked our
lost them both.
motherfucking asses.
Yeah. He rose from the ashes to take out the 3 teams that were at the top all season. We were literally in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd from like week 4 on.
Yeah.
I think Morgan ended up in the 3 the last week.
Yeah.
Because Josh
The
lost
very
the one
last
game, but
league.
still,
Or week, yeah.
it was crazy. So
Yeah, he ran the gamut. If you had to win one, it'd be he's proud of that one.
yeah. So but it was a fun season. Keep playing because we need things to keep us distracted. So
Yes.
start planning now for your 2021 NFL draft.
Whoop, whoop.
And the very last thing before we roll out
Yeah.
is just something funny to end the show on. You know how you see a commercial for Cialis or Lexapro or any of them, and they've always got either old people that are finally have their freedom and their liberation back, or young people that, they have a herpes outbreak, to where like, oh, you can have them less frequency, sometimes not at all, and like they're all these majestic things, and they're riding motorcycles and they're having dual couple showers.
Their ass doesn't hurt anymore.
Right. It's just all this crazy stuff. Dude, there's a commercial out, and it's called the Pad Thai commercial. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Oh, dude, it is the greatest commercial.
I hate that name of that restaurant anyway.
I want to go there now just because you have to see it. Like, the commercial starts off just like one of those other ones, and you don't see it coming, and it's like, do you have feelings of loneliness and sadness, and sometimes you just don't know what to do with yourself? And then they're like, Pad Thai, and then they go on to the next one. Do you sometimes have itching, cracking, and burning? Pad Thai.
I might have seen this.
To where it's like Pad Thai cures everything. Just go eat it, Pad Thai. I'm like, hell yes. Like,
It's
whoever
the
came up with
worst-
that.
It's the worst restaurant name in the world.
But it's like everyone.
Pad Thai. It reminds me of a feminine product that you're tying. It's horrible.
But then what we were laughing about, because of all the cat and MSG that you're going to find in their food, they could put the same side effects on there.
Right.
Bloating, and in some cases.
Thoughts of suicide.
Right. In some cases, you may have to go to the emergency room. Like, this is so perfect, and they didn't even know it.
If you eat Pad Thai and it does not agree with you, consult a doctor.
Right? Now, if it gives you an erection lasting more than 4 hours, hey, I don't know what you had in your Pad Thai, but go back.
It's time to untie the pad and get to work.
No, it's not. It's time to get a frequent eaters club, man.
Yeah, that too.
Right?
That too.
A little Pad Thai and a little Poontang, right? I think that's pad Taiwanese. I don't know. On that note,
Pad 20s.
right. Well, as you can see, we both need a little mental help. And if you are struggling with anything, if you have problems in your life, you don't really know who to turn to, you're not sure what to do, and you're getting to the end of your rope, please pick up the phone, call 1-800-622-4357 for the National Helpline. Somebody on the other end will be there to help you out.
Absolutely. If you have bad thoughts about hurting yourself or others, or just can't shake that substance abuse, call the number. Someone will be there to help you.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe you laughed. Maybe you got mad. We'll do it again in 2 weeks.
And if you don't like it, just flick us off.
That's right. Pip, pip.
Cheerio!